Good morning, everyone, and happy TGIF Day. Um, I think it's the 9th of December, 2022. Yeah. And it's bonus day 194 and Highway to Heaven day 46. It's crazy when you think of the word, the song Walking on Sunshine. No, thanks. I like to walk in it daily, whether it is outside or not. I like to be a positive person. I like to be um, outgoing, and try to brighten somebody's day. I certainly don't like to ever walk around being a Debbie Downer. So this morning I woke up abruptly and had to use the restroom. And then all of a sudden, she needed to go out. The queen bee, Anna Grace. So I took her out and I figured she'd be quick. No. And the whole time I'm feeling nauseous. That's just something that has continued on with me ever since I had the blood clots. The nausea has just never gone away since. There's multiple factors of that. Um, so finally, I had to put my coat and boots on and go out with her. By that time, you're wide awake. It's downright freezing cold in the 30s. I don't know. Finally, as I'm almost frozen, convince her to come in. So I make some tea with some um, locally grown, and I've grown, it's not grown, a local beehive here. Anywho, um, and I put like a teaspoon of that in because honey has always it's a natural sweetener, and it's good for our bodies. It has the antibacterial properties. It's so good for our bodies. Um, so Shelly had talked to me about this. Going to I think she said something to me. One of my tribe sisters where I'm staying said something about going to this beehive or bee farm. I don't know what she said. I think that's what she said anyway. Um, and I constantly am making references to bees. I'd rather, instead of writing BE in anything, I'd like to put a little bee in it. I don't know. So it's just kind of funny how everything just starts connecting and you're like, oh my goodness. So when I get my tea and I come downstairs thinking I'm going to drink a little tea, I decide to take my vitals. My temperature, it was staying in the 98%. Now it's going down to 97, which I'm sure that's how fast it was dropping being outside. I can't regulate my temperature very well, and I haven't been since last year. Well, earlier this year. It started in about May and June. I think I started charting it then right after that. And then I stopped because it's almost like I can feel when it starts to go down. And when I could feel my temperature going down, it literally is going down. Now, normally people go outside, they can feel the cold on their outside of their skin, and it's not necessarily bringing their internal temp down. It may be cooling this, but I found it's really interesting how it should start bringing it down, but when your internal temp is normally 98, it doesn't dive like mine is. Mine's like diving quickly because it's normally 88. So it's really interesting. I don't know and I may be saying something incorrectly, but because I've not researched the science end of it, I just know from my own personal experience what I'm witnessing as myself being the patient, me, myself, and I. So I've been, my tribe sister Shelley's in a Bible study class, and she's been in it for years. And they've been studying the book of Jonah. So for the last 3 days, approximately, I've been trying to get back to Jonah, but I've had distractions along my path. But not needing crackers till this morning. which is crazy. So those distractions were on my path. Got that loud and clear. So finally, this morning when I'm wide awake, I'm like, that's my time. I was going to do it last night before bed, but I was too tired. And rest has to take precedence over anything because it's a gift from him. And if you feel tired, you need to go to sleep. You don't need to take an energy drink to boost. That's not what he wants you to do. Your body requires so many things, and rest is a main component. I didn't run with rest when I had my accounting practice. I was going 100 miles an hour and tried to use alcohol to shut my brain off so I could go to sleep because I was programmed to do taxes and I was programmed to do that like, and I was trying to find some kind of happy medium so the insanity workouts help take the stress off, but not enough. Well, apparently enough to protect my heart. So, so I'm reading in Jonah and in the Geneva 1560 Bible, where it takes you, you'll never know. I have been darting around the Bible since reading Jonah, and I've only read up to Jonah. Jonah chapter 2 through 10. So I've read the first two chapters of Jonah, and it said read Jeremiah 18:8. So I did that. And then I was led to read, let's see, is that 18? Other books in Jeremiah, which led me to chapter 17 in Jeremiah that says, thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his armor, and withdraweth his heart from the Lord, from ye, Lord. Okay, I had to look up what heath was. I didn't know what that meant. It's talking about the land that's and like some small shrubs or whatever. So then, what also what I was led to was the Heath Bar. Yesterday, when I was at the grocery store with Shelly, I said, let's make some cookies. I said, have you made cookies in a while? No. And I said, does the family like cookies? Yes. I said, well, let's get some chocolate chip for cookies. So she was looking at the chocolate chips and then she was like, wow, I've never seen this before. I said, what? Heath bits. See where it's all pieces together, where you follow the trail? These are how the messages work when you flick off the switch to man's world and you flick on the switch to the Lord. It's super duper fun. It's like an adventure every day. So back to the story, or the truth, what I'm uncovering, starting with Jonah. So the Heath grocery store, or the Heath and I added ice cream. And I had asked about ice cream last night. I was like, is there any good ice cream places around here? So see how it's all connected. So everything's interconnected. So, um, and the elder Heath started the dairy farm in 1915. And what's interesting about that story is customers could order Heath bars with milk and cottage cheese to be delivered. I mean, yum. And another factoid, in 1942, the U.S. Army placed an order. 1942, the U.S. Army placed an order for 175,000 Heath bars. Hold that thought.